Maxine, may I publicly thank you when I was beaten at New Union Church. I guess I was your first patient you served ahead of time.
After 2 weeks in Shreveport, Louisiana, I had attended the services, my husband and I, at Louisiana. We returned home from the service. We heard the horses running up and down the steps of the church as we went inside. When we got home, we got a call, my husband got a call from Ann Brewster asking that he return to the church, that Dr. Harry had been beat up by some of the officers of the commission in the church. And so we returned to the church, and we lived about 5 blocks from the church, and said, hurry, hurry. We had to get there. My husband said, as soon as we get there, we'll pull them in the front. They'll still be there. And you thought like officers going out to war. We got there, and they recognized us getting out of the car. The commissioner called and said, where do you think you're going? And my husband said, I've been called in to treat Dr. Harry Blake. And when we got in, they couldn't bring him out that night because all the officers were still out there. But God works in mysterious ways His wonders to perform. My husband's office at that time was in what is now the educational building of the Little Union Baptist Church. And his office was the first room next to the church. And so some of the members gathered with my husband and I'm a nurse just coming from the University of Texas where I was teaching nursing, went right next door to the office and gathered up all the material and instruments and sutures and etc. that we needed, and went back into the church to stitch up Reverend Harry's head. He had 3 major lacerations in his head. And the next day was taken to Dallas to the hospital because he couldn't go into a hospital that night here in Shreveport. But God is good. Yes. Thank God for that. At this time we also have a very important gentleman to ask to come to speak some words to us. And he is the gold sponsor for this evening and the president and CEO of the Willis-Knighton Hospital System. Mr. Elroy, would you come forward?
I know the hour's late, but you'll just bear with me for 5 minutes. I really have a message from my heart and my wife's heart about how much we love CO and Wayne Simpkins and what they've meant to not only our lives, but the lives of thousands of patients that have no idea of what they have given in service to this community. They truly have been great, great custodians of God's money, you might say. Most people in this world go about their daily life and activities never pausing to reflect on history of this world or their community or their family. Because for many people, history is just something you read about in books or see on the History Channel. Few people can claim that they were part of a historic event that helped change the world and made it a better place for all mankind. But tonight we honor a talented and caring man and his equally talented wife who can truthfully say he was part of history and that this world is a better place for his actions. Dr. C.O. Simpkins' heartfelt love for others coupled with his willingness and courage to peacefully work to right injustices have changed hearts in our community. When he won a seat in the legislature, he demonstrated all the kind of character, the commitment and fairness that was needed to enhance the health and well-being of the citizens of our state and North Louisiana in particular. His intellect, reputation, and sense of integrity and fairness, coupled with his willingness to speak out against injustices, brought him even greater respect from both sides of the aisle of the legislature as he fairly represented all of us. Few people ever have the blessing of claiming dear friends in their life that the likes of Dr. C.O. and Elaine Simpkins as it relates to our family. Margaret and I cherish our special relationship with this wonderful couple. Whether visiting their home or farm or traveling together or going out to dinner at a local restaurant, we share a special bond of friendship seldom found in today's world. They're our brother and sister in every sense of the word. We're such good friends, and I once told CO that I listed him as one of my pallbearers. His laughing retort was that he had every intention of living long enough to fulfill my request. Well, at least he did not say that he's looking forward to it. Like CO. If you've ever been to dinner with CO Lane, you already know that you have to plan an extra 30 minutes of time for dinner while so many of the people in place come over to greet them and thank them for their untiring efforts on their behalf. I was going to say this to CO. Elaine said it'd be okay to tell you to relax because of our Baptist upbringing. I'm not going to tell these people about our shared affinity for good food and drink. It's always been clear to me that CO, as a crusader for human rights with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and later as an elected state representative, has a love for this community and clearly understands its needs. He's effective in his efforts for human equality because he is honest and trusted, yet outspoken. You never wonder where he stands because he's not playing games and he's not making deals for personal gain. This fact was reinforced when we at Willis Knighton were identifying areas in our community that were medically underserved with the goal of improving our citizens' access to quality and affordable care. The Cooper Road area in North Shreveport was the largest one of these areas with the state's highest cancer death rate in Louisiana. Why? Lack of detection. Lack of numbers of doctors and clinics and equipment to actually diagnose cancer at an age where you can still treat it and not lose that loved one. The area encompassed a large population with only one part-time dedicated physician and little medical equipment. A very dedicated doctor did his best. He was up in his late 80s and still working part-time. People who had no transportation were forced to take long bus rides with multiple transfers to access health services in town at the LSU hospital. When Dr. Simpkins learned Willis Knighton was studying ways to improve health care in this area, he reached out to me to present his idea of putting a clinic there. Unprompted, CO and Elaine came forward to offer their most valuable land at the intersection of now Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and Shreveport Blanchard Highway, immediately adjacent to Southern University. Instead of offering to sell their property, they said that they'd donate their property if Willis Knighton would build a medical and dental clinic and community center on it. Our mutual dream opened in 1995. Unlike many donors, it's special to me because I have a picture in my office of my mother, who was there wearing a t-shirt that said Project Neighbor Help, and that was her last appearance before being unable to communicate with any of us. It's special, very special to me. Our mutual dream opened, like I say, in 95, but unlike many donors of property, CO and Elaine did not stipulate that the new clinic and community center bear their names. Now that's generosity without recognition. That's what God expects of us, all our Lord expects of us for our fellow man, not to have their names on everything that we decided we were going to give a few bucks for. Through their willingness to share their financial bounty, God bless this effort that today numbers 11 clinics throughout northwest Louisiana and one in Arkansas. Last year, they treated between 35 and 40,000 patients, Medicaid and uninsured, and no one is ever turned down for care because they are able to pay. CEO and Elaine put their hearts and money to work for the less fortunate of our region, never expecting that their initial generosity would be the catalyst for such tremendous and successful works. And the only non-governmental supported indigent clinics in Louisiana, with all expenses paid through Willis Knighton's pledge of its profits. We observed our 20th anniversary by surprising CO and Elaine by renaming our first health center as the Simpkins Community Health and Education Center. We have a great staff there at our Pier Avenue and our main facility there on Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. And it's under the medical directorship of a really fine young man, a Shreveport boy that went through school. I say Shreveport man, and boy, grew up right here with us and took over as a man leading the medical directorship of that clinic. Dr. Dixon, would you please stand? This doctor could have gone almost anywhere that he would choose to go. Duffy, you know what I'm talking about. There are a lot of openings. There are a lot of openings in healthcare. He could have gone anywhere he wanted to practice medicine and made a lot more money. But Dr. Dixon is there because he has a heart for the people that he sees every day. This is also, we have some other clinics that have been developed and are springing forth from all of this success. And that is, we have, with the support of Dr. Bocchini, I have to mention him for sure, and LSU's pediatric department. We also have 4 full-time pediatricians at our Ollie Street clinics and 5 part-time pediatric specialists at our Elizabeth Street clinic. Through this generous gift of land, the Simpkins have, as the poet said, planted seeds of trees under whose shade they may never sit, but which will continue through the years to enhance the lives of thousands of patients. As a dentist, CEO, an Air Force veteran, comrade in arms, I also am wearing the United States Air Force lapel pin. And matter of fact, I think CO outranks me. We were both captains, but I think he was a little ahead of my time, so that means he has more time in rank and grade. So, and also as a civil rights pioneer, public servant, and most importantly, a Christian with love in his heart. He and CO and Elaine have shown what can happen when good and courageous people step forward to serve their neighbors. And they didn't want recognition for it. As the Bible reminds us, all good things work together for those that love the Lord. Amen. In ending CO and Elaine, you will always be cherished in the lives of all of us who know you, know and love you, and thousands of others whose lives you have touched in so many wonderful ways. You may not have known them, but rest assured, those you have helped will always remember and appreciate you for what you've done for them. All I say from Margaret and me is, CO and Elaine, thank you for this just being you.
We're going to be beginning to close out. Would any of the children have anything that they would want to say before we do?
I want to thank everyone for coming here. I'd just like to give you a child's point of view. Growing up with C.O. Simpkins as my father. As a physician now myself, I really appreciate that he was a busy, very busy dentist. There were people standing up in the office all the time. He worked till midnight. He was a man whose life was threatened. whose career was threatened. And as a physician, I know what that's all about, losing a career. He had other obligations, and yet we stay up all night listening to jazz and playing checkers. And he never let me win either, because I had to really win. But he always had time for me, because one of the things that segregation did was to try to make you feel like you were nothing if you were black. And I remember when he got me started in science, took me to a pond, bought me a beautiful microscope, and he got some pond water and some dry grass and put them together and said, wait 3 days and you're going to see paramecia. And he showed me his zoology books from college, what paramecia were all about, and so forth, and I was fascinated with science after that. And today we have a biotechnology company that stems from that interest. We knew it was something. We knew it was something. So I just want to say that, be very brief. I think that's most important, and I'm so blessed to have had it. I remember one other thing I want to say. I remember when I found the dead rabbit. It was a rabbit. You made a speech in church. You said that if God would take care of a jackrabbit, he would take care of me. The next day, there was a jackrabbit with a hole in his head on the lawn. And I found it. And I think you thought I was too young to understand what that meant, but I understood. And we said, your son is going to bury us. So somebody gave us a rabbit. But I understood. But I also understood when you said, something, get your guns. When they came to kill us that day, out in Lake Vista, and I had to get my guns. I was part of self-defense. My sister said they could shoot. I could shoot. Because my father also said one thing: nonviolence works best when you have a gun.